Like, honestly, Columbia should have all their programs that they have free for Harlem students, like, especially since they're in this neighborhood. What college do y'all think has the most toxic men?
I do think Columbia is kind of bad because a lot of them think they're like golden childs and they have this complexity.
Would y'all have a threesome?
No.
Your man? Thank you.
No.
No.
All
right, podcast over.
All right, welcome everyone. This is Ladies Night, College Edition. I'm Melissa and I go to Columbia University and I'm originally from the Bronx, but now I stay in Harlem.
Hi, I'm Maury. I also go to Columbia University and I'm from China.
Hi, I'm Esther. I go to NYU and I'm from Queens.
Hi, I'm Cheyenne. I also go to NYU and I'm from the Bronx.
So how do you guys maintain a healthy friend group in college?
I think in college, a lot of people exclude themselves by being in one particular group. What I believe in is to diversify yourself and to get to know different people from different clubs so you don't get stuck in this one theme. And I feel like my friend group at Columbia is very diverse and I meet people from dance, from business, from class, and from entrepreneurship. I feel like that gave me a very nice stream of diverse population that I can interact with and have different ideas and different activities. I can do fashion with this group and do like more academic, more business, more computer science with other groups. So I feel like that really benefited me.
So how would you guys feel about dating someone who's not as educated as you or didn't go to college?
I feel like we put so much value on school, on the credentials, whereas educated can be defined in so many different terms. And I feel like a lot of people are educated, but they're learning knowledge, but not the lessons of life. And I've dated a guy when I was like really young. He went to the military and he never went to college, but he taught me a lot of lessons about life, about how to live, how to interact with the world. And I feel like that is some knowledge that we don't emphasize a lot. And I'm definitely like super open to date anyone that doesn't even have a college degree. And it's more about how they present themselves and how they really show they know stuff, they know the ropes, rather than, oh, here's a piece of paper, I graduated from Harvard. But if I say something they can't interact with that, then no.
I feel like it really depends. It really, really depends. Because I've spoken to people who are really, really smart but never went to college, and I've spoken to people who are really fucking dumb and never. Yeah, like, so it's like, it really depends on how the person, like, chooses to live their life. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, I feel like college really depends on everybody. For some people, you know, it's something that they could do, but like, you know, college cannot be for everybody. Like, it's just not something that fits them. But yeah, I just feel like it depends. If somebody's like really pushing towards to be more educated outside of school, that's what counts.
Also, it's money. Like it takes a lot of financial burden to go to college. I know someone who went to community college and they're super smart, but they're paying for their parents. They're taking care of their parents. So I feel like which college they go to really doesn't define a person. But if I talk to them for 10 minutes, I'll get like an idea of who they are.
Exactly. Yeah. And like morals too has something to do with it.
Mm-hmm. That's definitely true.
I mean, I would give somebody a chance if they didn't go to college.
Yeah, I don't think it matters that much.
Yeah, it's just how you present yourself.
It's just like, you know, growing up in New York, that's like a lot of people, they decide not to go to high school. They even drop out as students high school, so to get fast money. And like just that lifestyle is not it for me.
Yeah.
It's never a steady income. It's dangerous. I just don't want to be involved, especially because I do go to college and I'm pursuing a career.
And it's not like they're doing that now. So if they're not choosing to get out of that lifestyle with what they have, I feel that's a problem. Because I know like an artist, a musician, he was arrested at 11.
Oh.
He was dealing drugs. He was like selling all these stuff. At 11, he got arrested. But now he's an artist, and he went to college, did computer science, and then became a pediatric like doctor. Wow. And then now is
he
like
made a whole 180.
Yeah,
that's different.
Yeah,
so I feel
not
like
even a 180, a whole 360.
More of a motivation to like get out, like to get yourself out of that situation. Whereas I think I don't judge based on who they are right now, but what they're thinking about the future.
Yeah. I definitely agree with a lot of what y'all said. I think for me personally, I wouldn't mind if they didn't go to college, but you have to have your own ambition and you got to have your own form of making money. Like, as long as you're passionate about something that's leading to obviously like good wealth and just good prospects in the future, that's like really my biggest thing, because I feel like people are intelligent in their own right. Just especially like people who are creative or just pursue different endeavors. It doesn't always have to be book smart, but I feel like a part of me will feel unfulfilled just because I do like to talk a lot about like what I study and what I learned. And if they're just like, yeah.
No, we're nerds.
Yeah,
We're
it's
nerds.
true. It's like we're nerdy.
I know all of us are kind
So being that you guys are nurses, could you ever date someone that thinks that vaccines are the devil, like they completely against it?
It's funny because I've actually like spoken to somebody who had that mindset, and it was like pretty difficult to try to like, especially amidst the pandemic. So like, I mean, I would respect their decision because like I see why there's a lot of skepticism behind vaccines, but I feel like you can't try to convince me to do something like based on like my own health decisions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, it's okay if you don't want to do it, but don't convince me to like be on that bandwagon. Yeah. So, I mean, I could, but it'll take me a lot of patience. So,
I don't know. It depends, because even I were a little like, when the COVID vaccine came out, I was not getting it. Like, I was not jacking it at all. I didn't get it till like 2 years after, and I seen that nobody mutated who already got it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, I don't really care.
No, yeah. I feel like the COVID time was just very particular, especially with vaccines. Like, they had everyone believing everything, talking about something. It's coming from 5G. I was just like,
From
bro,
the like
is crazy.
they trying to kill us off.
Exactly.
And then with the vaccines, they were really like, bro, you gonna become an alien. And I was like, bro, if I become an alien, what, you want to be the only one chilling here? Like, with a whole bunch of mutants? Like, at that point, I'm not trying to be in some World War Z shit. Like,
But yeah, the vaccine thing is really not that serious. Unless they like
It's
try
not
to
that
like
serious,
force your
yeah.
kids not to get them, then it's just like, okay, now you're
Yeah.
just like dragging it a little bit.
yeah,
'cause, you
that's
know,
my biggest thing. I wouldn't want to date someone that way just because I date to marry. So if you have this mentality and then you're going to try to push it on my kids, I'm like, nah, like this is weird.
good.
This is where it ends.
Literally. I feel like dating to marry is being very intentional with who you're with. I feel like a lot of people devalue the idea of marriage. So I'm not going to date someone who has half of the qualities I want. Not to say that like I'm not willing to work with someone, but if they're not willing to grow with me, like, no. So for me, it's just about like dating someone who meets my standards because I'm willing to go the long run. So that's my biggest thing. I feel like a lot of people just date to date. Like, it's just, oh, I'm having fun, you know, he got money or he has a fun lifestyle or he raps or whatever. And it's just like, is this person going to be someone who you can end up seeing a future with? That's my biggest thing.
Yeah, like wasting time. Like, you know, when you date somebody, you looking to see like, oh, will he make a great father, or just things like that. Yeah. Because, you know, when you're dating somebody, you're obviously sexually active with them, so that is always a possibility that you could fall pregnant. And it's just, you want to be intentional when you're dating people.
I also feel like nowadays baby mother culture is so normal that I really like dislike that. That's why I feel like marriage is just something that should be pivotal.
But it's like people change over time, so it's very unpredictable. Whereas for me, because of my family and everything, I feel like it's really hard for me to believe that a person's gonna stay constant, or like not even stay constant, it's gonna consistent, or because I feel like love is a choice. It's not a feeling, it's a choice over time. Because you can feel differently a second after. If you drink alcohol, you feel different. If you take drugs, you feel different. But love, I feel like it's a choice that you do repetitively over time, and that's a conscious choice. I think that's what one can rely on, not just feeling. So I feel like time does prove a lot of things, but I'm very scared about having expectation on people, where if I date to marry, if one day that expectation broke all the previous commitment. That's what I'm scared of, but I do support the idea of dating to marry and being intentional. However, you do have more stakes on the line when you make that choice, and that's the scary part for me.
I definitely agree, and people definitely do change over time. But I feel like there are characteristic traits that are like innate to you, like your values and your morals. Like, I'm not saying that this person has to be my end all be all, but at least I know I'm with a person that I can see that, you know?
I do agree the intrinsic values that you evaluate on for sure.
Yeah. What are some of y'all deal breakers, guys, when y'all dating?
Immaturity.
A cheater. I could work through a lot of things, but I cannot work through infidelity. I am sorry.
No.
It's
a vicious cycle.
like too much
Oh my
work.
God.
It's like, do you think you're the only person out here that people want to sleep with? Do you even know who I am? Like, I could have
Do
been
you even know who I am? Like,
So, yeah, like betrayal, that's just a very big no-go for me.
yeah.
I also feel like a deal breaker could be like not being family oriented. Like, I'm somebody who's very family oriented, who like likes to be around family. If you can't get along with my family, let alone respect my mother and father, I can't be with you.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Or my siblings. Yeah.
I can't be with a liar. I feel like you really got to stand your, and I feel like even like different extents of lying, like I really value when someone's true to their word. Like, if you say you finna do something, do it. Like, that's something that's like really important for me. So like, I'm dating someone who's consistently giving me like false promises, or like they're lying about where they at, or like just like petty lies. Like, I just can't be with someone who's a liar.
That's true.
If they lie once and then they promise never do it again, would you give them a chance?
It depends on the lie.
Yeah, what type of lie are we talking? Because lies,
If they
the
cheat,
spectrum of lies.
if they cheat
Yes,
once
there's,
and
like, little white lies.
I can't do a cheater.
One cheat, that's it.
like sometimes it's difference between physical and emotional, right?
I know they be trying to make that argument, like men.
Cheating is cheating.
Yeah, men
that.
date to like. I mean, men can cheat, but it's only physical and all that BS. But like, I feel like the only time I'll really start to think of like, okay, like, can I excuse cheating is if like that's my husband and we have children and there's a lot on the line, and like this is like the first time, and it's just like that's different. I feel like marriage is about like really working through your problems.
Yeah.
And I'm really not big on divorce, so like it really depends on the extent of cheating.
Exactly. Like, going off of what you said, like cheating, there's like, okay, like an affair, I don't think I'm forgiving that. Because like, you emotionally cheated, you physically cheated, like you made it your business to hide whatever you had going on with another woman from me. But like a one night stand could be a little different. Like, you know, you just wasn't thinking or whatever. But I still don't think I'm jacking it. Like, I gotta be put in a situation like, I feel like there's a lot of steps to cheating. Like, before you even get to the intercourse, is like, you have to kiss, you have to go to somebody's house, you have to like remove your clothes. So there was so many,
You have to be strategic.
so many points for you to like stop what you're doing.
Yeah.
And you didn't do it. And it's just like, it's either like you didn't think about me or you thought about me and you didn't care. So it's like, when you think
Either
about
or.
it emotionally, like, that breaks your heart.
How do you guys feel about like, let's say your significant other is like liking like Instagram models' pictures and stuff like that, trying to entertain somebody like that? Because that's like,
That's weird.
it is weird. I think it's weird, but like, what is your like? Is that a deal breaker as well?
For me personally, I'm not one to clock your Instagram. Like, I probably wouldn't find out. But I don't feel like I would date someone who's following a bunch of Instagram models. Like,
True.
that's the thing. Like, I don't know. They just give like little boy energy. Like, you fanning over like someone you will never meet in real life. Or like, I don't know. Like, it's just weird to me. But yeah, I don't even feel like I don't even like dating people who are very like social media active. So like,
Like, I like people.
That's true. Exactly.
yeah. No, Instagram is no, Instagram is a bit wild.
100 followers.
Yeah, but there be people like that, and I've met them.
No, they do. It's
And
like,
they
you
be
could
great.
never- oh, they will have like
Actually,
one
one
picture up and they
just
look like
asked.
so mid in the picture. You see it in person, you're like, damn, I left you on red. Why?
Yes. Exactly.
Like, that's how they
I
be.
love that. How overprotective are y'all, or jealous are y'all? Like, do y'all check phones? Are y'all the ones to be like, y'all gotta give me out passwords, things like that?
No, I check phones.
I like location sharing. I like passwords, knowing passwords. I like going
Like,
through
I don't need to know your social media passwords, but I definitely want to be able to pick up your phone and unlock it.
social
Can
security,
you have
credit
all
card.
passwords?
Shorty said Social Security.
You can have your password too?
Definitely.
Oh yeah, for sure. I don't got nothing to hide.
I feel like it's sort of more like attracting than checking, because if he does want to hide something, he can buy another phone, or he can like do multiple security, like a secret app or whatever. I feel like over time it's really about trust, whereas checking doesn't sustain in the long term. That's why I feel like I don't want to be having the urge to check, but yeah, I just want to have more trust and I have to like check up on it all the time because I don't think that's sustainable for a
No,
real
definitely. You
relationship.
don't gotta check it every day, like.
Right.
But
Check like once
But
in a
if he
while.
doesn't show it, if he's hiding it, if he doesn't give the password, then that's a problem.
yeah, that's definitely a problem
Yeah.
because what are you hiding for the fact that I can't have your
Exactly.
password?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like you should be comfortable. Like if I go for your phone and you jump,
That's a
yeah.
problem.
Now I
Yeah.
have to see everything.
Literally.
Now I have to see everything.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Nah, for me, yeah, I'm not one to like check your phone because I feel like I already know I'm a jealous person, so I'm gonna protect my heart. That's why like I don't be Instagram clocking. I don't do like I trust you, and I also trust God to know that if anything is happening, like it's gonna reveal itself. But yeah, I want your phone password and you have mine, and like if I ever need to pick it up and like order something or like do something quick, like there should be no reaction from you.
exactly.
But yeah, I really am big on trust. But I also trust God that He will show me if you were cheating or a liar.
But let's not forget the real him is in that phone, ladies.
But I feel like you will read things out of context. Like I feel like you might read something and then black and it be something that like the person could have been their cousin or like there's so much.
That's why you have to ask questions. Like just don't.
Yeah.
But if it's like dead in your face, like I'm coming to your house tonight, then
Nah,
it's
yeah,
just
that's
like,
different.
Like what else is that supposed to mean?
But that's the problem. Like if I look through your phone, now I got hella questions, and then now I got to bring it up. Like, okay, I went through your phone, and now it's just like it goes to that vicious cycle of like, oh, now we don't have trust. Now he want to check my phone. Now we clocking each other all the time, and then there's arguments, and I'm not trying to do all that. For those of you guys who did say you would check phones, what words will y'all search up to try to catch them?
Coming over is one.
Baby.
I don't know. I do like
baby.
sterile checks through the phone. So it's like sometimes I don't even type no words. I just go through every individual.
Or something with, like,
I even go through the
she.
group chat with the guys. 'Cause that's where you know. That's where like the juice
The
is at.
juice, yeah,
Yeah,
facts.
I'm not gonna lie. That's
Secrets.
if I was gonna check someone's phone, the first thing I'm doing is that
You
group
don't
chat.
go in the
That
phone
ass.
looking for girls because that's like real in your face. You got to go through the group chat, see what party they was at, see who they talked to
Because
at
the
that
boys
party.
are always gonna know something that you don't.
Exactly. They're finna say some shit like, "Oh, you was talking to that girl."
The most like it's just like going all over, not just like
Yeah, like you
said
go
the
through the
group chat.
photos, the recently deleted
I would just search
photos.
up
Recently
like,
deleted text
Now they
messages.
got
Y'all
a-
heard about that too?
Yeah.
They got that.
They got
Yes.
that.
Recently, really?
Yeah.
Text messages, yes.
Where?
You go to edit, and it's the last one.
Yes. And then it says recover all of them. You have 40 days to recover the text messages that are deleted.
Shorty said you got 40 days.
Yeah.
No,
Not an open marriage, but he might not like have a side chick or two.
no.
Side chick or two.
No, because there's really some people that are okay with
That's
that.
a big box.
Yeah, like that's we
That's
missing
a
a
deal,
whole area of what I'm not
That's
expecting.
That's a huge.
No,
That's
No.
a huge no.
Yeah, huge no.
Dealing with men like that, like
She's been.
it's no, I haven't even been through that because nobody ever had the nerve to come up to me and say something like that. I don't play like that, but it's just you're putting your body at risk. You know, what
that's
I
a
mean?
big one.
When you're in a relationship with somebody, you're sleeping with them unprotected. You're probably on birth control just to prevent pregnancy, but you're not using a condom every time. So if he's out here, you don't know if he's protecting himself with other ladies. And me being a nurse,
nurses,
me exactly. I do not like HIV is a problem. It can kill you. All of those things is just I'm not putting my health at risk for you just because I
Just
love
for you to live your life.
And it's not even sexual; it's also mental. Like
That's
when you're
true.
sharing like spiritual fluids, like not fluids,
The
but
energies,
exactly the spiritual energy with someone else when you're having sex. Like if that person's depressed, you're gonna become depressed. If that person is
The transfer.
going through anything, like that's gonna relate to you, and then you gonna bring that shit to me? Hell no. Like,
valid.
Yeah, and it's just
If I'm gonna say anything, it's really just if it's an open marriage, whereas we talked about it and we both agree on certain terms, I feel like that's not completely unacceptable to me. But he's just saying, "Oh, I'm gonna have a couple other women I'm gonna sleep with simultaneously, one with you," and that's a no. Like that's point blank. Period.
I don't think I will ever agree to that. That's why I
Yeah.
just completely debunked it.
Like, I feel like that's just a hard no for me. Hard no.
Because if I'm in a relationship with you, why do I have to go sleep with other men? That's weird.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm very selfish with mine.
Sometimes it's like over a long-term marriage, it could be just to get that spark, and that's where like the different groups of like swinging, is that what you call it?
Swinging. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
that comes in.
Wait, what's swinging?
Like a couple and they switch partners, like in the
Oh,
same
hell
room.
no.
Like
Yeah,
it's
it's like
level
a
up
house
from,
party
like,
was your sweet
This is
partner.
wild.
With your neighbor, with your best friend, all that.
No.
I feel like that's. Like
I feel like it
different type
could.
of
I see the
culture.
demand. I see how long
The demand?
I see the demand.
That's crazy.
Supply and demand, economics.
Fuck all that.
If you're married for 20 years.
My man's gonna be happily in love with me for 20 years.
There's some things that you could experiment with. Like, you could just do things between the two of y'all. Like, you
Kids
don't need
spice things a
outside.
lot up. Like you got no
Exactly.
time. Like why do you have time to be sitting here
Would
seeing
y'all
another
have a
woman?
threesome?
No.
With your man? Thank you.
No.
All right, podcast over. Boom.
No.
I feel like before I even get into like a threesome, I'm fighting with the other person. Like,
The other girl?
yeah, like it's finna be no.
cause no.
You gonna look at my man the wrong way. And
Exactly,
I'm like, bitch,
and
do
I'm
you
gonna
like
look
him?
like-
Like,
Right.
Yeah,
Like,
like
I'm too like
Yeah.
selfish.
yeah. Or he gonna do something that no.
Right, because if he does something with a girl that he's never done with me, that's when I'm gonna be like,
Imagine-
just go be with her. Just go be with her. Like, go be
Okay,
with her.
This is
That's
so
it.
funny. Like imagine he finished inside her. Oh,
Her, but not you. Is that what you're trying to say?
yes.
Never.
Imagine.
Yeah, go bye. Out the door you go. That's it.
Yeah.
I would never.
No, but
And
like,
this is why I
feel
wouldn't
like
put myself
just
in that
can't share
position.
Who I love with
Exactly.
somebody else. Like if
I
it was
can't do
somebody
that.
I wasn't in a relationship with, I'd probably do it. But you know, threesomes involve you also being involved with the woman, and I kind of don't swing that way, so it's not even something I would enjoy. Like I would be doing it for him. It's not for us.
Yeah.
What college do y'all think has the most toxic men?
I do think Columbia is kind of bad because a lot of them think they're like golden childs and they have this complexity and a lot of commitment issue. Yeah, Columbia is not a good place for relationships for sure.
I'm gonna go with you, Albany.
Oh.
And I'm gonna leave it at that.
Oh,
Yeah, like
CUNYs and SUNYs. Like,
So the whole
the
the whole sector.
the whole thing. That's
CUNYs
it.
and SUNYs.
Yeah.
Buffalo University.
Syracuse.
Girl,
Syracuse might be bad.
Syracuse, don't even like.
Nah, I've heard
It's
some
because they're going to college.
stories.
Like when they go upstate, they're going to college to party. Like
They going up
They
to
already
college
know.
to be whole different people.
yeah,
Like
because they
They're
were in
not-
high school, they're trying to turn up right here.
Yeah, they're not around mom and dad no more. No curfew, none of that. I mean, yeah, for sure.
But I wasn't looking for no relationships in college. I'm not gonna lie. I stuck to my studies.
Yes, as you should. Studious girls. Always.
Yep.
Nerds. No.
all right. So we declared who has the most toxic men, but what school do y'all think has the most toxic women?
I don't know.
I actually don't know.
Oh, now y'all don't know.
I mean, so then
I'm gonna say one. All right, I'm gonna say like all girl ones, like not Barnard, but I feel like Barnard's very quirky. But I would say like Spelman, like the all girl schools, just because I feel like it feeds that culture.
Maybe like
What, the
U
competition
Miami.
there or something?
Miami.
U
I don't know
Miami.
too much about that.
stop.
That's
My
where
bestie
Alice
goes
Girl
there.
are from. Like just like popular party girls.
Yeah,
U Miami's
honestly,
very party and like.
I feel like
yeah,
I wouldn't.
I believe that
I
too.
wouldn't say college, but I would say the girls who are in like sororities.
Sororities, I could see that. I would say white sororities. I'm not gonna lie,
In particular, yes.
but because I just feel like multicultural sororities,
Yeah.
they have like, not to say all white sororities are like that, but I feel like multicultural sororities, like they come from like, you know what? I'm not even gonna say none of that. But I don't know, because honestly, I don't know too much about sororities. But I guess from what I've seen, multicultural sororities, they really stand for a lot of like big issues. And even like the pledging process, I've heard, is very much about like connecting to your roots, connecting to those that like came before you, what's your history and things like that. And then that's when you kind of build a group off of values. I feel like white sororities, it is all about like partying and looking cute and
competition.
like, popularity, yeah,
Not our forte.
and competition.
Definitely competition.
Yeah.
So
I've seen like a couple TikToks of girls getting their bid and just crying because they didn't get like a big. I don't know how it works. It's like you get like a mentor, somebody who's older or something.
oh, a big, yeah, I've heard of
big,
that.
And then they don't get one, and then they just literally just get kicked out as if like they haven't went to this 3-month process for no reason. That's crazy.
Couldn't be me, not a sorority person.
Right.
Yeah, I've never been in a sorority.
I'll drink to that.
What college parties harder, NYU or Columbia?
Hands down, Columbia. I'm sorry.
Y'all say that because y'all went to one party with me, or like 2 or 3 parties with me that were good.
'Cause I actually be getting drunk at the
Yeah, because it's all of us dumb hype.
That's true.
I don't even think I went to NYU parties.
Yeah, but that's what my point. Like NYU is very like secluded. They're like in their own little thing. Like I feel like Columbia was very like open to having outside people. Like I never really had NYU like I've never been to an NYU party, but like the few gatherings that I would go to, like the people they already have their own friends. They already have like their own conversations. So it's just really hard to blend in. Whereas Columbia, I feel like, especially at the location that it's at,
Yeah,
it's just very like exactly. It's just very like open to other people.
Comparatively, NYU doesn't have a campus. So like I've heard it's pretty separated, the different schools. So my intern goes to NYU. He goes to Stern. And he was saying how the Tandon school is like miles away. He doesn't know anyone from the engineering school. And there's different like liberal arts and science. So like there's different like very separated functions of NYU. Columbia, I won't say it's the neatest cohort, but I feel like it's a little bit more integrated than NYU.
I would say that the Columbia parties are more accessible because like you gonna know what's happening, like especially because like we have that frat row and whatever, like you see things going on or whatever. But I would say NYU has more parties. It's just about like knowing those people, I guess.
That's true.
Yeah, and I feel like they'd be better because it always has to be like a venue party and then it builds off of that. But I definitely see where y'all coming from. That'd be the biggest thing. It really do be $20
Columbia
per party.
is like really expensive, the parties, especially the business parties. Some charge like over $50, which is insane to me.
I'm dead.
Nah. So if y'all had the options to change anything about y'all's school, what would y'all change?
The price.
Oh,
the price.
Expensive.
For sure. The price.
Y'all pay?
No, but I don't pay. But
Yeah,
like,
we don't really
definitely
pay.
the refund would have been a lot more meaty if they
I
weren't
paid the
so
fucking full
expensive.
price.
You paid a full price, Maury?
I paid the full price.
Oh my God, girl.
Everything included, I probably pay
Do you really want to get
$90K.
90K?
Oh, no.
I'm international, so
$90K per semester?
per year.
Per year.
Oh, that's given NYU though, because NYU
that's
be like,
true.
Like a little bit less
Yeah.
than 90K, but that's not including my living expenses. That's just like school and housing.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's hefty price.
Yep.
Wow.
No, yeah, definitely thank God for scholarships and whatnot.
For sure.
I thank my mom.
I feel like if the price was lower, it would have been easier for the school to be more diverse, because even NYU is very populated with,
Affluent
Yeah.
people of color.
PWI.
So,
I recently found out that what's his face? Andrew Hamilton went to Columbia.
I don't even know who that is.
He's a founding father.
Oh, the one, the play?
Yeah,
Okay.
he went to
yeah,
Columbia.
some prince goes to NYU, like the Prince of Denmark.
Yeah.
The Prince of Greece went to NYU.
He said, I want to meet him.
Right.
But outside of the price, other things, like more like social or...
I feel like it's related to price. Well, one thing I would change is exclusivity. Because I feel like Columbia, there's so many hierarchies where they build social circles that are very tight-knit, but it's hard for outside people to get into. And I feel like a lot of opportunity, especially with school clubs, should be more accessible for everyone and for people to feel they're welcome to a new community, because going to college is hard. And yeah, like just like exclusivity around school clubs, around organizations, around like friend groups. I feel like there should be more welcoming environment. I've talked to multiple people that have graduated from Columbia, And a lot of them said they did not have a good time because they feel like people judge them based on which sector of Columbia they go to, like general studies. People who go to GS at Columbia, they told me in person that I feel like people judge them based on that. I do get it that if you get into Columbia, you kind of feel like you're privileged and you're smarter than everyone else. And they judge different schools differently based on, you know, what they're focusing on, like what internships they get. And there's a big culture of, you know, competition, and it's a toxic one. It's not a collaborative. So I feel like definitely less exclusivity and more collaboration, more community.
That's a good one. I think for me personally, especially because I'm in the engineering school, it's a lot. And I feel like especially like coming in as a freshman, I went through the whole, what's it called? The syndrome. What do they call it again?
Imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome.
I don't know why I blinked, but I really went through imposter syndrome. It was really tough, especially like coming from public school. There was like a big gap in like what everyone knew and what I knew. But it doesn't help when like you're in a class, like specifically for my major, it's pretty small. So there's literally it's me and another girl in my class, and then the rest of them are all men. And then I was like, it's 90% white or Asian men. And there's like 2 or 3 other people of color. So like I literally make it a point to like sit in the front so I don't feel like I'm being drowned out. But then it doesn't really help because then even the teachers are all old white men. So it's just kind of like there's no representation. Sometimes it's hard to really like just put your hand up and ask that question that you need, or, you know, ask questions to your your partners and stuff like that. Just because like you feel like you're gonna be judged, or they're gonna call you dumb. But that's probably like my biggest thing. And then also just more support. At Columbia they have something called ASP, and that was supposed to be like our first gen support. But literally we got into school and I just felt abandoned. Like there wasn't really much contact from them. They weren't very helpful. And I don't know, I feel like hearing Domley's story, they have more like first gen support at NYU. But for us, it was just kind of like, well, you got this. So, yeah.
Do you think, like, maybe, like, your point being that, like, Columbia is an Ivy League, like, that's why they're like that? Because a lot of people just kind of, like, fend for themselves.
I don't think that's fair. Yeah, no, I definitely do. I don't think that's fair because, like, I feel like all these students were prepared to be here. Like, I didn't even imagine myself getting into an Ivy League school until I was in, like, junior and senior year. And even then, it just kind of felt unattainable. So it's just kind of like I wasn't mentally prepared to be here. I didn't even know what I was being introduced to. Like, going to Columbia, it felt like I was in a whole different part of New York. So that was just also, like, a big culture shock for me. But, yeah, I just feel like there just needs more advocacy, especially when you're dealing with teachers who have no idea what you're going through and, like, sometimes have their own ideologies and things like that. So it's like, I feel like you need someone who's going to advocate for you.
And also going off that, I feel like with college, they don't educate us enough on the end goal, whereas college, how I see it now, is more of a channel than ultimate destination. And a lot of people feel like they have to do the best in college, but it's really a channel that's pushing you to a whole new world. And that's preparation. I feel like more preparation, more foundation about life needs to be laid in addition to knowledge. I feel like we're inputted with math, with science, with like history, but not how it applies to real world enough, and how we have to really think about the social aspect when we get out of the college. How do we network? How do we interact with people? How do we build relationships? How do we navigate social situations? How do we build a mental foundation that's preparing us to accept harder challenges than academics? So I feel like there needs to be a clear bridge built between the book knowledge and the world.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I also feel like the resources aren't that good at Columbia in terms of like the career advice and like the advisors. Like I feel like the advisors just be getting thrown in there because you be asking them questions and they really don't know, or they'll be like, oh, like let me do my research, I gotta get back to you, which is fair, but like sometimes like they'll misinform you, or like they'll just be confused, and now I'm confused, so it's a lot of BS.
I feel Barnard does have a better like mentorship program, like beyond Barnard and everything. I've met a couple really visionary female leaders that are CEOs, venture capitalists, and the advice I got from them really impact me and really impact my career choice and how I mold myself in different settings. And I feel like having those figures, just being there, seeing how they've done it, I think really shaped how I think.
I also feel like Barnard has a very much different culture. Like, even with their classes, I feel like it's very supportive. Like, I've had teachers. I remember my first Barnard class, my only one, but my teacher was so supportive and so understanding of, like, everything that was going on. She was always there to help. She was just trying to make it, like, a good environment for us. And my teachers really don't care. Like, they come in and clock out as soon as that class ends.
Because it's like they don't want to, some of them don't want to teach. Someone just want to do research, and they have to teach based on their professor tenure requirement. And I think that's a lot of the problem is, where it's not willingness, it's not like a eager to spread the knowledge rather than just clock in, clock out. And some professor does, it's like their passion to sort of spread what they have gained and to mentor people. I think that makes a huge difference.
It really does. Like, I remember I had this one professor, he would literally ignore your questions. So one, he was old. So if you was raising your hand, you wasn't getting called on. And you would have to shout out in the class. Now imagine it's a small class. You sit here and call his name, and this man dries ignores you. And you know he heard you because he'll stutter and, like, stop and then continue going. But it's just like now I'm embarrassed. Yeah. But it's that whole environment where it's just like they're here to literally say what they had to say, and it's not a very, like, interactive class. But what do you guys think Columbia could do to help Harlem? I think personally for me, or what I know, like, I remember they were talking about how they were shutting down, I think, a pre-K or kindergarten.
Oh, wow.
In terms of, just for expansion or something. But that's off topic. But I feel like Columbia has such a big role in this community, and they can be doing so much more in terms of what they have for their resources. Like, I feel like there should be way more programs that are accessible for high schoolers, and not even just high schoolers, but, like, at all levels, like high school, middle school, even, like, kindergartens. Like, by you putting and introducing these students into this space, it makes it so much more realistic for them. And it doesn't have to be such an academically rigorous program where it's like, oh, you have to have, like, these grades or you have to have this funding. Like, honestly, Columbia should have all their programs that they have free for Harlem students, like, especially since they're in this neighborhood. Also, just building more infrastructure for Harlem residents. Like, I feel like they do things just to, like, check off a box. Like, the Manhattan project they built, like, 1 or 2 little coffee shops, and, like, you know, it's open so you can chill there and stuff. But, like, I just feel like there should be more that Harlem residents can access. Like, even if they had their own kind of ID where it's like, okay, like, you can utilize the makerspace at a discounted price. Or, like, you can utilize our gym at a discounted price since you're from this neighborhood. Things like that for sure.
Because I heard, like, Columbia was a part of Harlem.
It is.
Prior. And I think I really like the idea of discounted price or, like, even free usage of Columbia
should be
resources.
Free. These motherfuckers make billions of dollars.
Billions, for sure, from donations, everything. My money, my tuition. Anyways. So I feel like for them not to just, like, use it, but to come into an environment and feel like that it's a possibility that I could belong here. And that pushes the motivation for them to study hard, for them to have the drive into getting there. Because if you think it's impossible, because like you said, you didn't think about you're gonna get into Ivy League until the last part of your high school. And we previously talked that your high school was really inspiration for you. So I feel like they really need a motivation and think that it is attainable for them, it is accessible for them, and just for them to understand the fact that this institution is for them. And then drive that motivation. And then with the motivation, provide them the resources they need to achieve the academic abilities. I think that's what would transform the community.
Yeah. And also just, like, building more initiatives. I feel like clubs should kind of be required to give back. Like, even, like, government clubs, like, they should be required to at least host something that's community-oriented, especially getting the students involved, because it's also important for the students to understand where they are. A lot of these people come to Columbia and stay in that bubble, but it's like you're right down the block from 125th, or you're right there to, like, Spanish Harlem, and they never get introduced to it, or they think it's something so foreign. Like, you're literally a part of this community now, and Columbia has done such a big part to be a detriment to it. It should kind of be a responsibility for students also to just be more experienced of Harlem and understand like the history behind what has like been built here.
A lot of Columbia students come from very affluent background. Someone like me, I'm not from the United States, and a lot of them don't even touch the like uptown area. They just go downtown, they party, and they spend money, and they go to Columbus Circle, they shop, and they go to clubs. But I feel like the beauty of New York is the ecosystem, how all these cultures, all these communities coexist in one city, and I think those clubs that push them to see a different layer of the culture, a different side of New York, is so important.
No, for sure. Well, we appreciate all of y'all for tuning in and watching this very insightful conversation. We had an amazing time at Ladies Night. And if y'all want to support, I own a business that supports Black and minority-owned clothing brands. It's called Upcomers. Y'all can follow us at _UPCOMERS.
Thank you guys for watching. My name's Maury. My Instagram is MORILLIU. Like, you can put my Instagram tag there. And I'm also thinking about starting my own podcast, highlighting people that are building towards a vision, people that going an unconventional path, and entrepreneurship, innovation. So I'll put my TikTok tag also down there, where I provide a lot of resources on career, on education, on life in general. So.
Thank you for watching. Yeah, I'm done.
Okay, so thank you for watching. I'm just gonna say my Instagram is OHSOPRETTYCHEY. There we go. Also pretty sure. That's it.
Yeah, and y'all can follow my personal too. Is YE.LISSA. That's my name.
It's real hot. It's real hot.
I'm done.
But yeah, for sure, we really appreciate y'all tuning in. And thank you guys for watching.
That was so. I cannot do YouTube.
I cannot do YouTube. Like,